morning, job seekers, and welcome to Lucas County, Ohio Means Jobs, Jobs in the 419. Well, we're already in October, and unfortunately, I have had no time to go over to the local pumpkin patch to decorate the set. But I guarantee you, in 2 more weeks, you're going to see this looking like the fall harvest. So I'm looking forward to my visit to our local pumpkin patch because it's always a nice opportunity to check out the apples and pumpkins and gourds and things that are available, and I always enjoy the opportunity to be able to share those things with you here in the set. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about some changes that are happening in our local workforce area. And I've been hearing a lot of people coming into the resource room that are feeling a little bit anxious about how many applications they've put out and how they're not getting return calls. And it's very disappointing. And so, I started thinking about this a little bit. And some of the conversations that we have start talking a little bit more about the focus, being a little bit more focused and looking at where the trends are happening in our community. And so, we here in Toledo have a growth industry that's focused on technology, and it's centering around things like, cybersecurity, AI engineering, full stack developing, data analysis, things of this nature. But there are also other jobs that are involved with technology. And so often, people may or may not have the time to, move on to get a credential, or they might not think that they have the time for training. But I have something that can actually be helpful for you if you're interested in learning more. So one of the things that I do talk about when you come to our orientations is what we call a micro-credential. And the governor's initiative here in Ohio has focused on a number of micro-credentials in different types of industries. And so if we're looking at, healthcare, advanced manufacturing, and construction, as well as technology as growth areas, the micro-credential also covers these same areas as well. And so if you look at the screen, there's going to be these different segments that are going to be offered. So we've got business technology, construction technology, healthcare, information technology, and so forth. You can see it here on the screen. So what's happened is there's a number of learning institutions here in the state of Ohio that have paired up with the governor's initiative to offer either online or in-person training. And these are short-term trainings. This is an opportunity for you to maybe explore something that could be of benefit to you when you're looking for your jobs and you're going through the job descriptions and they talk about some potential credentials that you could have or different types of training that might be helpful. This is where you might want to zero in and take a look at how this can parallel with your job search. It will help you to obviously accomplish something, have something additional to put on your resume, and maybe make you feel a little bit better about what you're actually engaged with right now, because it is heartbreaking to hear some of the stories that people are going through, but at the same time, there's no reason not to be focused on the future and improving your skill sets. So take time to go to that website, and it's here at the bottom of the screen, and click on some of the programs and see what's applicable for you. And you never know, this could help land your next career, or at least get you into a job that you may be able to earn and learn at the same time. This could lead to other training opportunities as well. So keep your chin up, be conscientious of what you're doing with your job search, and monitor and track things so that you can see what types of outcomes you're securing here in your job search. If you feel you need some additional assistance, please stop by Ohio Means Jobs, and we'll be happy to have a discussion and review some of these steps that you've taken to determine what other steps are a possibility for your future career track. And that is what I have on our hot tip. Now, I have some hot jobs for you that I want to go over. We have a number of jobs that I'm seeing posted with an expiration date out into the future. So don't be alarmed by that. They may be looking at their budgetary needs in some of these companies. Maybe they know someone is retiring, or perhaps somebody's going on a leave of absence. So don't think that it's a possibility that it could take, 2 months out. There may be a reason for that. But in the meantime, it does give you time to prepare, in other words, to, put that resume, the perfect resume together, and then hopefully plan on, developing your skill sets for an interview. So I have a customer service representative position, and this is an interesting job. I think that many of you might find it to be a little attractive, actually. So this is an individual that is going to be working on the railways. And so it's all customer focused, from the time you answer the phone to the time that you see a customer, whether they're in person or they're emailing you. There's always customer contact, but you're making connections for them for their travel arrangements, whether it be government, business, or private use. So this is an opportunity for someone that is interested and working for an organization that excels in customer service, and you have an opportunity to assist passengers. So these are people that might be taking short or long trips, but you're going to help orchestrate and create the travel arrangements for people. So you will have to handle baggage once in a while for customers, depending upon whether or not they need assistance, and also help with boarding the train, because this is for the train system. So one of the things that they do talk about here is, the opportunity to be able to utilize the computers and lift up to 50 pounds. Also be able to possess some excellent communication skills, whether they be oral or written, because you have to document all of these particulars. People may need some assistance with connections and things of this nature as you're traveling to different parts of the country. So you need to be able to document this and produce those papers for them. One of the other things that I think was really important about the position was they did talk about drug testing. Okay, so this is like one of those organizations that's very specific about the testing. And no matter what people may think about certain types of usage, these folks are very concerned and are very safety conscientious. So they want to ensure that whoever is involved in, applying for the position realizes that there's no tolerance for drugs and alcohol. And so if you are interested in this, be prepared, because they do criminal background checks, and they will ask for records so that they can be sure that they are working with an individual that they have minimal risk with on the job. So the pay for this position ranges anywhere from $29.29 to $39.05 an hour, which this is an excellent opportunity. So there's also, you get some percentages off on traveling as well. So if you're interested on your off time, you might be able to travel to different parts of the country by utilizing the services. But they do have an excellent benefit package, and they also have tuition reimbursement, which some of our job seekers are looking for. So I encourage you to follow the work order number at the bottom of the screen to learn more about this position. We are also looking for a delivery driver. Now, this is a Class B certification. This is a first shift position, and we are talking about someone that will be not only driving but also assisting in a warehouse. So you're going to need to be able to load and unload trucks. You're also going to be able to professionally interact with customers, because you're going to be in and out of the warehouse, but you're also going to be working with drivers as they bring orders into the warehouse. There's going to be a need for forklift operation or hand trucks, so these types of experiences are going to be helpful to this position. There's also ongoing housekeeping that has to occur within the warehouse, so you'll be a part of that strategy as well. Also, because equipment is important in the functionality of the job, whoever's hired to do this is going to have to do periodic maintenance reviews. You know, sometimes you have to go around and check the equipment to make sure that whether or not it needs to be taken into the shop or it needs to be maintained. So this will be critical for this person as well. There's also going to be daily logbooks that have to be tracked, and many of the tasks that the person will do will be used and documented in a computer system. So they were looking for someone with some digital skills. The position requires a high school diploma, and as I mentioned, they're looking for a Class B certification. The person must also pass a DOT medical exam and obtain a 1-year card. That will be paid for by the company, so in case you're concerned about that piece. One of the other things that I think is important are some of the physical requirements of the job. You are going to need to be walking, standing 8 hours a day. There will be some sitting because you will be driving, and then being able to lift up to 50 pounds. Now, one of the things that they did mention is that if the orders are not necessarily, being dispatched out to customers and there's no need to drive, then the individual would be scheduled to be in the warehouse. So I think that's nice to know. So it gives you an opportunity to learn more about how that part of the business operates. So if you're interested in this position and learning more about it, please check out the job order number at the bottom of the screen. Now I'm going to do an intermission break here, and I'm going to give you some information about an activity that we have coming up in October. Actually, it's October the 15th. And this is for individuals that are looking to have some expungement and record sealing done. All right. So the reason I bring that up is because this could be a critical component for some jobs that we're talking about. And if this is something that you need to invest some time doing, I encourage you to do it. Now on the screen, there's going to be a flyer that's going to show a QR code. This is by signing up. You need to sign up, first come, first serve. There's not going to be any just walking in, because we don't know how many people just plan to walk in. But if someone didn't show up that did sign up, you might be able to be given an opportunity to come in line. But this is something that if this has been a problem for you, we encourage you to sign up for this, and you'll meet some wonderful attorneys that we work with through ABLE, and they do all the prep work, they do all the leg work, and then you do the rest by going down to the courthouse to take care of these documents. So you couldn't ask for a better relationship, and I just wanted to put that out there because it's been a moment since we've had the service available, but they're circling back and they're going to help us out on October the 15th here at OhioMeansJobs at the shared campus. All right, now my little commercial's over, so I'm going to go to giving you a few more jobs. We are going to talk about a Phlebotomist 3 position. This is a float, all right? This is a full-time job, but this is interesting because the candidate needs to be available from 6 a.m. to potentially 7 p.m. in the evening. And there is a rotation required on Saturdays. You must have reliable transportation, a clean driving record, and of course, a valid driver's license. So the pay range for this position is $21.24. Now, I know we've had a number of people out there complete the phlebotomy courses at some of our training facilities, but this particular position does have some requirements, and it may be, you might have had some work experience, but this might also be an opportunity to learn and earn at the same time. It just depends on the right candidate, perhaps. But what they're citing in this job description is that the person is going to need to have not only a high school diploma, but some medical training. So they're looking at medical assisting, or in addition to a paramedic training. That would be preferred, is what they're saying. They're also looking for phlebotomy certification. Now, in some of the states where they operate, it is a requirement. It says preferred, but if you have it, that would be an advantage. Now, work experience. Okay, 5 years phlebotomy experience required, and it needs to be inclusive in the following categories of pediatrics, geriatrics, and capillary collections. So you may not have all of them. You could have a few of them, or as I would say, 75 to 80%. Still make application. Do not be steering away from an opportunity. That might be an opportunity to discuss in an interview. Also, they're looking at least possibly 3 years in patient service center environments. So if you've had the experience where you've been able to provide customer service in a retail or service environment with patient care, this could be you as well. They have a fabulous benefit package, many things. I mean, just to talk about it, few of them. Day one medical, supplemental health, dental, and vision for full-time employees who work 30 plus hours. So that's it used to be 40, now they're at 30 plus. And then they also have mental health wellness programs for their employees, vacation and flex time. There's also a 401k, as well as life and disability insurance. There's annual incentive plans, matching gift programs, career advancement opportunities, and education assistance. So this is something that you may want to look at and determine whether or not you meet the qualifications. So pay attention to the job order number at the bottom of the screen. We are now going to be working in a warehouse. So this is a third shift, and it's with a very well-known organization, pretty large company as a matter of fact. And this is where someone will be pulling product, organizing product in the warehouse, but getting them also ready for shipping. So you're bringing it in, you're packaging it up, you're putting it out to the specific customers. So there's going to be a lot of detail involved in this particular job. One of the things that you're also going to be responsible is managing and working with physical inventories, because people want to know where you stand, what the stock levels look like. Also, there's going to be a need for someone to do work with a management retrieval system. So having some familiarity with computers is going to be very important. You're also going to need to be able to maintain records and be able to pull data so that you can demonstrate that in report writing and show progress with different shipments and the accuracy and so forth of those shipments. Now, there are going to be some requirements for this particular job as well. The physical demands, and a person may have to lift frequently up to 20 pounds, occasionally up to 150, but that could be a dual lift, the buddy lift. So I think that, that's something that people need to know. And also, you may have to occasionally lift between 20 to 50 pounds, depending upon where you're at and what you're doing at that particular time. But there will be some occasional climbing of stairs and ladders, and also of operating other equipment like forklifts. And those forklifts, they say, may range from heights up to 50 feet, so that's quite high. So for people who have had that experience, that might be something that you're interested in. Very safety-oriented company. They also, too, do drug testing, and, as a matter of fact, they let everybody know that they are testing for cannabis and requiring that everyone be working for the safety and the benefit of their coworkers. So some of the requirements for this particular job are going to be problem-solving skills, ability to work well with a team, strong attention to detail, general safety skills, and good mathematical skills. The wages range from $19 an hour to $24.63 an hour, and you have a full benefit package here. I think one of the things that stands out with this particular one is assistance tuition. They have an employee assistance program, computer purchase assistance, and there are shift differentials by the hour. So this is something that you may want to learn more about. by checking the job order number at the bottom of the screen. So those are my 4 jobs for today. And I also want to bring up that it's important, when we're talking about the job market, that we always need to be on our A game. Now, I brought this up a few podcasts back. I still have some books available if people are interested in getting a free copy of that. But the important thing in the A game is your attitude. Okay, we are experiencing some challenges, right? As job seekers, employees, our coworkers, we're just experiencing some challenges. But the most important thing to remember is your attitude and how you navigate what you're dealing with. So here at OhioMeansJobs, we're here to help you. And we have tools that we can offer you to improve and help your A game. But we need you to participate. So one of the ways that we can draw you in is by coming to an orientation. Another is for you to maybe go back through some of our former podcasts where you can learn some other fundamental information, or maybe check out some, stories from people who have been successful to see what they've done in order to overcome some of the challenges that they were facing. I think it's important for us to put things in perspective and be engaged. We're here for you. So reach out, call us at the 419-213-5627 number, check out our schedule of events, our calendar of events, so that you can see what's available for you. As we're open always from 8:30 to 4:30. If you'd like to make an appointment, you can call and do that for an in-person visit, or you can go to our website where you can schedule a virtual meeting with someone, and then that can lead to another subsequent appointment from there. So we have many ways of connecting with you, but it's you reaching out to us so that we know what it is in particular that we can help you with. So remember, keep that attitude in check. There are things happening out here that sometimes may be beyond our control, but it's how we look at it and what we can do about it. So I think collectively together, we can help you maybe overcome some of these barriers that you may be experiencing. So we thank you today for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you. And pretty soon we'll have our fall harvest going on here, as I promised earlier when you tuned in. So happy job hunting, and I hope to see you in the near future. Thank you and have a great day. Make it a great week.